I switched over to my phone. Where are we? No, we're over here. Not here. Okay. You okay, Charity? What's up? Come on out. Come on, Charity. Come on. Come on. Mm. We have a beautiful half moon sitting low in the sky. Somebody's here. Come on in. Welcome. Oh, do I have all this necessary and vital? Let's do that. There we go. Boom. No. Give you. Can't. I can't, girl. You're gonna. No, no. Uh, I hope I can hang on the system. What's up, Ronnie? What's up, Jack? Look, I wanted to continue the conversation. Daniel Burry, Daniel. Yes, I wanted to continue the conversation, and mind you, I do not want to bash Christianity. That's not my point um, at all whatsoever. I, as far as religions go, I have to say Christianity probably, our it's based on our here in America is based. Uh, oh, I don't remember, Jack. I don't remember. I don't remember. Uh, I'm trying to remember. Um, I think I was going down the road of how similar, how similar all the religions were. And so okay, the truth. What is the truth? Well, I mean, your truth is right off the bat. Your truth is puts everything else at odds. Every religion's truth puts everybody else's religions at odds because they all claim the same. Uh, you know, they all fighting for supremacy. That's kind of where I was going with this, and you see this in the demographics of a country. You go to India. I mean, it's there. India has always been a multicultural, multi-religious society. It's um, you look at other countries like Japan. Uh, they fought really hard to get to out of animalism, right? For the longest time, they were in animalism, and then they turned over to Buddhism, and then they turned over into something called Shinto Buddhism, Zen Buddhism, right? So I mean, the evolution uh, life. I'm not sure about God, but I'm it. But what if God didn't give mankind free choose? Then it would be subjugation and by no means true love. Well, I mean, if a man rejects God, I mean, is it about rejection? It's not about a rejection, I don't think. I'm not rejecting God as a Christian God. I'm not rejecting Christian God, nor am I rejecting Hindu God, nor am I rejecting you know, other gods, pantheons of gods. I'm not rejecting them, or maybe I'm rejecting all. I'm actually studying them, looking at them, and I say them. And that's another thing about Christianity. Y'all lost the them. Elohim means many. I mean, so where'd all the other gods go? Why is there only one? I mean, everybody else had many gods. Christianity only has one. And in a weird sort of kind of Trinity sort of way, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Creator, the Manager, the Destroyer. Same thing about Hinduism. They have a Creator, the Manager, and Destroyer, and it's in a myriad honest of time, and also in the most minute of time, right? So there's the, so I have created. I mean, I'm not denying now. I mean, I'm just wondering who's right. Who is right? Everybody's saying they're right. I'm a skeptic. I am a skeptic. And the more that I look into things, the more skeptic I become, right? Uh, but I have the ability to look at it, you know, objectively. I understand Christianity. Right off the bat, Christianity says you gotta accept the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. You gotta accept that as a truth. Right off the bat, I'm like, nah, I can't really. Uh, and that's kind of what I see, Cha Cha, is that this is how it kind of played out in my mind. It was kind of like yeah, it was a dream. You know, all the religions of the world had a conference meeting, and on the wall they had a big, huge whiteboard like this, but massive, and you know, God, God walks up and draws a big circle and goes, "That's the truth." Everybody else is just trying to explain it, and drops marker and walks away. And then everybody's left in the conference room to argue about whose truth, who has the truth. To not be with God. But how can I not be with God if God is everything? I mean, it's just the concept of God. I mean, what you call God is it the wind in my hair? Is it the ground beneath my feet? Is it the cold in my lungs? Is it the hot food in my belly? Is it the water that I eat, the air that I breathe? How can I not be, how can I reject it if it's everywhere and everything? And if I am everything, made of everything, because I am, what's going on? Then am I not part of God? Your concept of God. So, I don't know. I mean, I can argue with that, but I have to, uh, you know, I have to say certain things. I have to I have to go through some kind of rituals to do that. I mean, is that really necessary? In yours, it is, right? I mean, it's like me accepting, like I said, I'm in a room full of people, and these are gods, and they're all screaming that they're right, and that I must follow them, that I must choose them, and I am my ears are ringing from the sounds of all these gods saying they are the truth. Oh no, not really those gods. It's the people that follow those gods. So it's not the gods themselves that are telling me that they are the truth. It's the people that follow those gods that are telling me those are true. And I've learned a long time ago believe half of what you see and nothing of what you hear, right? Entertain notions and things of that nature. But I when somebody tells me that, you know, I have to be able to go. Let me think about that one for a minute. Do you want white or wheat? Let me think about that. Prodigal son, parable story. That's a true love of the father. Okay, right. And what is the father? The father is the creator, right? Created all things, but he doesn't really take a role in everything. And his love, okay, he's got love for his creation, right? As all fathers do. And yeah, well, I mean, yeah, right, Jack, yeah, and you see that, yeah. I mean, but everybody wants their their truth to be true, you know, which allows for it allows for division. It really does. When there should be more acceptance. I do believe in religious acceptance, right? You have the right to believe what you want to believe, and I have a right to believe what I want to believe. And neither of us could be diametrically opposed. We could have healthy discussions and conversations about such, but at the end of the day, it's who do you pray for, or do you pray to anyone? Uh, you know, if I was a Christian, um, and I see this, if I was a Christian, I would see this that the Father's love is more like a tough love. What do you mean you got a flat tire? Fix it. That concept of a father, that's love. I taught you how to make the. I taught you how to fix a flat tire. Fix it. I don't remember where I heard it, whatever. But it was basically people praying to God, going, God, we need your help. This and there's that, and we've got tsunamis and we've got famines, and you know, and God says, fix it. But still you have that that mind, the mind of the people that they interpret their idea of God differently than everybody else. Everybody has a different uh, a different understanding, a different concept, and yeah, trying to get on the same page, same wavelength. That's hard. That's hard to get everybody in that way. I mean, any religion. You know what I'm saying? It's how many Muslims do you know that actually do eat bacon? You know, uh, that how to know the truth. Oh, okay, God, man can pick. Man use his mind and heart to find truth. That all the time. But even that's flawed. Oh shit, my back is jacked. Yeah, even that is flawed. I mean, our understanding of truth. Uh, the all the colors blind the eye, all the sounds deafen the ear, all the words we speak, you know, deaden the tongue. So right off the bat, we're working with inferior sensory organs. We are. It's truth. That is true. We can only see that direction, and we can only see in a finite uh, spectrum of view, spectrum of vision. There are other animals out there that can see in IR, that can see in heat, that can see for hundreds, if not thousands of miles away, in the 360. So, awareness is it's how do we perceive the environment around us? Um, we are set up as a apex predator. That's how we evolved. Uh, as an apex predator. That's why our eyes are straightforward. That's why that's why we've conquered this world. We have, and now we're looking to the stars. So, when will our conquest end? It began with the first, in life, like I said, science, life, but life finds a way. It's there is there is design and creation, a sacred language, if you will, of whatever it is. Science is trying to unlock it, and they've just looked at the surface of it and goes, wow, we can't. That is very, very complex yet simple. Uh, but we cannot make that. We can't even make a single cell organism, but we can make a baby. So you know, um, what in Sam Hill carnations is going on at 1:30? I don't know, EMP. We're having like a theological discussion, and I'm not a Christian, so. But I mean, Jack is making some good points, right? All you Christians out there, wow. And you know what? If you're able to withstand this kind of questioning, this kind of speak from me, and then you can just stand up to anybody, So right on, right on. I think it's very healthy. This is like a slumber party. Right, it's a slumber party. Christianity is grafted into Judaism. No, Judaism is crafted into Christianity. Uh, Judaism, hence the laws are abided by in the New Testament, i.e., baptism is the circumcision of the old covenant. And I mean, that's kind of fucked up too. I didn't ask for my fucking for 3 inches of my dick to get cut off. I mean, being real, why? Why does that have to be circumcisions? Why does a baby, now listen to this, why does a baby have to be traumatized, disfigured religion? Why? Yet they say that it's for health reasons, huh? Fat finger syndrome in a small. I'm on my phone. Bone breaking action. Pray to Chrome. What is best to hear the limited screams of their enemies? It satisfies the God chat. Right, right. A father's love, and this, man. So many references. But no, I mean, I dig it. I just know history a little bit. My understanding of Christianity, Judeo-Christianity, Hinduism, Buddhism, tree gods, mountain gods, goat gods, and then all the other stuff in between that kind of moved and evolved or was forgotten, pantheons upon pantheons. There's more similarities than anything. It really is. If you look at, and it's not the same, but it kind of is. If you look at the runes, if you look at Hebrew, there's a lot of similarities of language, and it's kind of weird, the similarities. Yet they don't. There's no real connection. Same thing with Greek. that's why languages evolve. Just like the people evolve. Their understanding. Christianity is full of lies and paganism. Well, yeah, you're right. And most religions are. Most religions are. Think about the mountain. The mountain was always a god. A god lived in that mountain, and it was you would come through and you would pray to the god of that mountain. What's up, coyote animations? You would pay homage, give offerings to the god of that mountain that you could pass and be unscathed, and the mountain would not destroy you. I mean, it was the god of the river. It was that's animalism, and so those traditions still held true, even into Christianity, even into pagan Hinduism, even into Islam. Right? Uh, okay. I mean, I don't know how it works there, Jack. Yeah, Yeshua was a warrior storm god. Yeah, Yeshua. Yeah, it was a warrior storm god. You're right. And then, of course, the Sumerians, which predate Christianity. A lot of similarities there too. Uh, a lot of stories. What's the Egyptians? Of the God that resurrected. It had the same basic storyline as the Messiah. Yeah. But I mean, and so Jesus was a tool to bring his people out of subjugation. And he was that it was a way to galvanize the people. Your Messiah's here. Let's get to work. Oh, okay, right. We need symbolism. We need that. The red heifer. The red heifer must be born. I mean, it's the Shemitah. Matter of fact, Nibiru draws nigh, and we're all gonna die. Nibiru, not Nibiru. Oh no, not the wormwood. Uh, yeah, right. Yeah. Will we see Inky and L? I mean, I'm just wondering who's right, and I guess I won't know until the end, right? Uh, well, I mean, yeah, he was. He was. He was, and talk about because he was the last king, last heir to the throne uh, of kings, one of the last. The Romans had basically killed all the other ones. So that's what the Romans do, and so Jesus, he was spirited away, and he had his trusted bodyguard, John, to spirit them away, and then later on they could come back with receipts, and with receipts saying, "Yeah, this guy's the true Messiah. He's true King, and let's go, get out of here, Rome." He did. Eventually, it took a while. I don't know if I am right, Cherokee. It's my observation. It's just my observation. Uh, Jesus' existence and life on Earth passes all the tests, be it historical, written, archaeological, legal precedents, and definitely the effect it had, be it morality or measuring time. I agree, Jack. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what test did he pass though? I mean, whose test did he take? Um, it is definitely a significant event, right? And it's been there is correlation. Multiple sources point to Jesus's being real, and it's a great story. It really is. It's an amazing story. Absolutely amazing story. I mean, even from just a human standpoint, it's an amazing story without putting God into any of it, right? The most amazing story ever. I mean, for a guy to do that to himself, I mean, I'm just assuming there's no God, there's none of that. That this guy said, "Hey, shit's got to change, and my name is Jesus, and I'm willing to sacrifice myself in the most horrific way to make it happen." You know, talk about self-sacrifice. Wow. So I cannot deny that the power of Jesus, and that I'm talking about him thousands of years later, and he's still relevant. That's amazing. It's absolutely amazing. You know, it really is. So yeah, significant, amazing, absolutely. Wow. His story is it gives people hope. It gives people power. It gives people power over their I mean, what better way to learn how to live without fear than the life of Jesus? You know, wow. I mean, the most horrific way possible you could die is crucifixion. It's a terrible death. Terrible death. Painful. Painful and terrible. And they just hang you on a cross. Uh, DJ, you've been thrown out. I've been thrown out. This is my third revolution. But I cannot subscribe to faith. I cannot subscribe to I can a certain bit, right? I can't have flight. Yeah, I've heard of it, EAP. Yeah, DMT. Yeah. I don't know until I die. Or maybe I won't know, right? So will all things be revealed, like Trent said before? Maybe. I think it will be. Because I've had glimpses. We've all had glimpses of what's going on the other side, behind the veil. We've all had glimpses. Some more than others. But it's still a mystery, and I don't think anyone can absolutely explain it all in one simple book. DMT is in the scriptures. I don't know. I know its use goes way back, and it's multicultural. A lot of psychedelics were used. A lot of mind altering things were used to have some type of higher state of awareness, or perceive some type of enlightenment. Uh, I don't know about that though. I don't know how close it is. All the tests that mankind has come up with, be it a crime investigation, archaeological findings, historical accounts written to supernatural events, otherwise that men can explain. Well, I mean, once again, uh, I could I there's a lot of books that are fiction. There's a lot of books that we like to, as creative people, to be creative. We like to kind of interject some creativity into the story. You know what I mean? Did it really go down like that just because somebody wrote it down? That's hard to say. But if it's been, um, you know, if there's a lot of different point of views, then it's kind of like, okay, all right, maybe there's some credence to this, right? DMT allows clockwork elves to tell humans how to build CERN and let the demons in. Great. um, yeah, I'm waiting for CERN to be like Doom. It opens the gates of hell, and the Space Marines have to run through. Uh, China Silk Road around the first empire, Guangwu writing called Shengdi, also called Tian for God, Hongdai Yellow Emperor of the Han Dynasty, Shang Di One Supreme God, right? And that was the other thing is like China, China, or that guy, the terracotta warriors and all that. He he's like, I'm a god. He man tries to become a god. The concept of God, of I am a supreme ruler, and that's where that power just corrupts, goes to their head. Or are they actually trying to do it? The Tower of Babel kind of story. They try to get bigger than God, uh, to be God. I don't know. But you see a lot of this. When God changed Jacob's name to Israel, he called the place Pineal. When Jacob was alone and wrestled with a man all night, he was having a DMT dump. It's made naturally in the body, in the pineal gland. And we all know that pineal gland has always been suppressed. It's that when you open that thing up, your third eye, and that's spoken about in Christianity and some of the mysticisms of religions, right? The pineal gland, you can feel it. It opens up. It gives you a different state of awareness and different way of understanding, and that's being suppressed. That's been effectively suppressed for hundreds of years. And we work. It's always trying to open up, open up your third eye, kind of thing. Your crown, your chakra, whatever. All right. Good night to you, cha cha. It's the beauty of God's love. He doesn't force subjugate you to love Him. It is your choice, your free will. Totally agree with you, except you can't. You are choosing along the path. I'm the decider, not God. That's my point. I am the decider, not God, not man. And everything is always trying to force us to do things. That's the kind of world we live in. Sim Quan, Roman Church force name Jesus and God, but no the language. Uh, yeah, I have Ra. The Tomb Warner KY, Time Warner KY, right? Yeah, and that comes from the whole. Once again, the symbolism, right? The Anunnaki and all that. Um, what think about how much of an understanding you would have if that's all you had to do was to think about it. Look at the Hindus, the Nakans, the Nakans. They sat around and breathed. They had little pot bellies because they were great breathers, and they lived for hundreds of years. They barely they worked like 3 hours a day, to support their. But they were still subjugated over. They were still taken advantage of. So if Christianity, if any religion, is it if it's one thing that they're good at is giving hope, uh, giving strength, giving a purpose in life. If all you have is your purpose in life is to do no harm, what that's pretty badass. And that's hard. To absolutely do no harm. Doesn't matter what religion it is. That's pretty badass. But we know this is an evil world. I know evil exists. I've seen evil. We all have. So Can't be all good. If we were all good, then that's the thing. What's up, Tennessee Tactical House? What's going on, brother? Welcome to Lackluster Fridays 3. Thumbs down, fuck you, salute. Having a theological session, debate, I guess. I don't know. Please feel free to interject. Fierce Christians unite. I'd like to see more fierce Christians. I would. I would. But don't become tyrannical. That's the thing. Well, if there is a fight and Jesus comes, then hey, I guess I'm Christian. That would be proof for me. I just don't have proof of any. I don't of any of them. And I studied Norse religion. I've studied Hindu religion. I've studied most of the major religions. What's up, Tiger? So I mean, I gotta get some kind of proof, right? Outstanding Tennessee Tactical. Boom. Where am I at here? I'm at 52% power, so I can't plug in my phone, but we can go for that time. Skull. If you're gonna be a Christian, be a Christian. Be a fierce Christian. This country needs you. Definitely needs you. It does. It really does. And I'll stand with you. I will definitely stand with you. Or in front of you. But well, I mean, there you go. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Once again, it was used. It was used to subjugate. It was used to gain power, control of stupid people, and people that refuse to buy in, to accept that version of Christianity, that version of the religion. It keeps evolving, and either it gets worse, it gets better, worse, it gets better. I don't know. Even theologists, historians, historical theologians, they see it too. We all see it. It's always, anytime man gets into that, we always manipulate it somehow, some way, to our advantage. There's always some type of manipulation, always some type of propaganda, always some type of subjugation. Now I love Jack. I see where you're coming from. Is that the Father's love, right? Feeling the Father's love, and that's Christianity. Boom, go forth and be the son, be the good prodigal son of your Father, and He loves you, and He made you strong and fierce, for a reason. I like that. I like that. But don't come for me. Don't come for me. I'm not the problem. I'm not the problem. I just want to be left alone. But whatever. I'll find myself amongst Christians, and I don't care. I don't have any hatred in my, nor do I reject. I can't entertain the notion all the way. I get it. I get the concept, but I'm not going to do that. Sell thy cloak for a sword. I mean, there's so many, so many in Christianity, in Buddhism, in Hinduism. Dare I say, no, there's not. There is some wisdom in Islam. But like I said before, and I might catch shit for this, but it is a it is when it gets fundamentals, it is a religion of domination, and history has shown that they have always tried to build a caliphate, always, and they're always trying now. What we're seeing today is the fight to build a caliphate by trying to go after Israel. You know, that's why we are not experiencing a lot of terrorist bullshit going on, because all hands on deck over there in Syria, in Libya, in Damascus, and all that. Oh wow. Last emperor of China stopped believing in God and ended it last. Well, in Cherokee, that was that whole divine providence thing where the emperor was a god emperor, and that was the idea that the emperor was your god. Uh, the first kind of communistic ruling, if you will. Your ruler is your god. Your emperor is your god. You know. Well, I mean that's an interesting concept, Jack. But to me, it starts and stops with this guy named Jesus. That I know. Whether his father, whether it was immaculate, I can't. Immaculate conception is kind of no, that doesn't happen. Maybe some asexually, in some species, but immaculate conception, no, that's not how things work, right? So I cannot say that's a truth. Nor can I say his father was some guy in the sky. No, he had a human mom. He had a human father. That's how people were born. Maybe they've changed that with test tube babies. I don't know. Maybe that's the new immaculate conception. But once again, scientists still cannot create life. Um, like I said, the untold story of Jesus was that he was actually a king, and he was put into the witness protection program and shuttled away to Bethlehem to be the ace in a hole, so to speak. Damn, EP. I don't agree with that. But ancient astronaut theorists believe. I wish I had the hair. But I can't subscribe to that either. I have to look at it as human stuff. Jesus was born. Jesus did things. Was he a man? Yes, he was. Was he mystical? Did he have mystical powers? That I cannot believe. Is it possible to attain such mystical powers? Maybe. I've yet to see it. I have a show called Trial by Axe. It's all a guessing game. I've yet to meet anyone who is like every 120% boom, kill, boom, first shot kill, boom, first shot kill. You know, uh, Now the concept of the Christianity, the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the Creator, the Manager, the Destroyer, I believe in that, and I believe in that in like a universal thing. It's part of the universal truths, if you will. You know. Um, so what I believe and what I can't believe that you know this is all some divine thing. I think it's a way that man has tried to explain it and make sense of it, and then from that they gained wisdom, knowledge, and insight, and that evolved into something greater than itself. That's amazing. Um, but with that being said, I don't want to offend. That's just what I believe, right? And that's my belief. And um, you know, that's it. That's what I got. I looked into things. I questioned. I did. I questioned everything, and the answers I got led to more questions. Oh, uh, I mean, what's a supernatural event? Uh, you know, uh, you know, if I was to go back in time and had a cell phone, that would be a supernatural event. What's up, Esmore? Yeah, we're still up. I don't think there's, the idea of a supernatural event, it makes me think of magicians and trickery and, sleight of hand, kind of things. I mean, that's a deception. And like I said before, we're flawed in the way that we perceive things. All right off the bat, our eyes and ears, our sense of touch and smell are primitive in pales in comparison. Are primitive to everything else that's in this world. Our mind is able to really imagination explodes. We have great creativity and great imagination. We are really good at creatively answering a question. Very, very good at answering questions creatively and with imaginations. Because logic, analytics, if it cannot be explained, then you look outside the box. You start to look unorthodox. Okay, this is how fire works, right? It's a chemical reaction, whatever, right? But fire is hot. Why is fire hot? Well, because of this and this and this and this, right? It's not supernatural. It's just a natural order of things. Yeah, and on EMP, that was also, if you're going to, look at the Bible literally, that's what God said. That's what Jesus said was, eat of my flesh, drink of my blood. I mean, at the Last Supper. What? Wait, what? We're eating you? What? What? I mean, you know, I would just be like, what kind of? I'd like to see the the ingredients of this food now. But uh, but eventually things do get explained. That's what we have learned is most things have a very simple solution to them. There's just about a simple solution for just about everything. An answer for just about everything, and it's not supernatural. Where does supernatural really have truth? In this world, in this material world, uh, we are cattle slaves created by more advanced beings. Maybe that was true. Maybe there's still. Maybe we rebelled and now they're trying to recontrol us again. I don't know. I mean, that's interesting, right? Shad, don't ask what natural flavors are. Natural and artificial flavors. But I do know that the heart and the mind are connected, and there is great power in that. You know, um, let's see, getting heavy into all the conspiracy stuff and learning about all the evils that goes on made me think if all this evil is real, then Jesus must be real, and I want or am a Christian now. But yes, that's more I mean the biological answers, but the spiritual answers. Yes, the Lamb of God in heaven, so it is on earth. What's a natural flavor shed? It's on the label of your can. Oh, I'm looking. Oh, I'm looking at. I'm reading this thing. Okay, let me get my natural flavors. Uh, Natural and artificial flavors. I don't know. Natural and artificial flavor. Mm. Blind face is ridiculous to me and some other stuff. That's yeah. Woo, Cherokee. All right. Take care of yourself, Cherokee. Yeah, better get to bed or you get no breakfast. Mm. Right. Yeah, you got a good point there, EMP. What are natural flavors? Isn't a flavor natural? Yeah. Big old forehead slap now, everyone. Decalcify again. Ooh. And Christians lift up Christians. You know, that's good. Christians lift up Christians. Um, y'all have a way of fellowship, right? There's fellowship, and for you to set down, heck, 293 doesn't sound too natural to me. And people, Christians have a way of lifting each other up. When there's a traumatic event in their life, or someone is trying to thinking about succumbing to the wiles of this world, the evils of this world. There's Christians who are always going to sit with them and pray with them and quote wisdom. Quoting wisdom from the scriptures that only really Christians can understand. So the Christians like to quote scripture to each other. As a answer to their problems. That has some wisdom in it. Because that Jack, you have to be able to study and know the Bible and recognize where that solution is for that problem. And so that makes you think different. And then that person has to conceptualize that solution to the problem in their perception. So it's quite brilliant, actually. Supernatural was the term used in secular science. Okay, all right. Well, I mean, I'm a skeptic to supernatural as well. Uh, Secular science for what cannot be observed in nature. That is the applicable definition that I'm using. So, okay, all right. Thank you, Hill Summit. Right. I do not subscribe to supernatural. Uh, the concept of supernatural. What's that mean? Human embryonic kidney cells. They plucked the kidney out of a baby and did petri dish experiments. And on the 293rd try, they got it right. They've been cloning that cell for like 30 years. Yeah, right, EMP. Yeah, that's where a lot of our well, they didn't start with humans. They started with baboon kidneys, diseased baboon kidneys, and that's where they got a lot of their vaccinations from. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Yeah, still not created. Still, life is not created. It hasn't been created. It's been cloned. Now we've encountered immortal cells like Henrietta Lacks and her immortal tumor that's still growing to this day. I think she died in 1940s, 1950s. Her tumor is being used to make countless products and medical things, and now food. Yeah, yeah. lab grown meat, things of that nature, comes from Henrietta Lacks' immortal tumor, or there was a baby born in 2000 that had a immortal tumor in it. Abominations, even by scientific standards, because it will not die. Something immortal that will not die, and it what it does is it constantly replicates. Right, exactly. Why do they want us consuming our own genome, our own flesh, our own DNA? Definitely not natural. Definitely evil. Yeah. Turn us into a food source. That's nothing new, really. That's nothing new. That's that's what the Anunnaki did. You know, they subverted a nation and people to eat themselves. Yep, that's part of their debauchery plan. You know, so I mean, what I know about Christianity, what I know about the devil, as y'all call the devils, which they don't consider themselves devils, they don't consider themselves Satanists or Luciferians. They consider themselves the original pantheon, right? They don't have names like devil and Lucifer and things like that. But they accept that because it's useful for them. So Christians, your enemy. You can call them what you want, but they call themselves something else. My hypothesis is the kidney cell is a growth medium for sickness. It is. It's a. They need some type of tissue to incubate their bacteria or virus. It was done many. That's how they did the polio vaccination. What my mom had succumbed to, is they took a diseased baboon kidney, actual live baboon, and they incubated the polio disease in the kidney of a baboon, and then from that they took and made this vaccination, polio vaccination. That they did the same thing in baboons, in hamsters, in pigs, um, in mice, you know, dogs, cats. I mean, you name it. Anything that has that they can work with. That iron lung syndrome. Motion is Raf. What's going on? Good to see you. Iron lung syndrome. What is iron lung syndrome? Huh. But this new thing like the mRNA, yeah, it's taken over your DNA. It's changing you from human to something else. You become whatever that RNA sequence is that they want. To quote, like in the days of Noah. Hmm. We are seeing not only mankind corrupted morally, spiritually, but also genetically. Yeah, you're right. Not much just tiptoeing through the mental insanity rooms of the YouTube Shorts lives. Oh, damn. Jordanir. Yep, polio, it causes paralysis and also causes iron lung syndrome. Oh, okay. I see. Well, my mom, she got partially paralyzed from the polio vaccination, which they gave her like 3 times. Once while she was in the wound, once when she got out of the wound, and then once again later on in her junior high. Boom! It gave her. She became partially paralyzed. So anyway, I understand. I have a different concept of what religion is. Uh, I understand all the dogma and all the ritualistic stuff and things like that. I mean, but that's common with most religions. But I have to say that so did the author Robert Anton Wilson. Ah, but I have to say that as a prevailing religion, and somewhat wholesome, I have to say that Christianity is probably the best. Definitely one. It definitely stood the test of time, right? It's definitely going through its trials and tribulations. Um, you know, I, so there's that. But so does Hinduism, so does Buddhism, and now we're seeing Norse come back. You know, but it's evolved. Every time there's a pause, there's a jump in evolution and something's changed. So it's not the original. Um, but if like say Christianity can hang on to the original messages, like Jack, like you talk about love and things like that. Time for a coffin hell for me too. In the days, I can't stop. I can't quit. I can't accept. You know, my last dying breath is going to be this. Fuck you. You know, I can't go gentle into the good night. Fight all the way, right? So yeah, thoughts, conclusions. I mean, Christianity's not the only one, right? I mean, try your best to keep your heart pure. I like that. Esmore. Right, Wrath, and that's interesting that you say that. You know, uh, technology is such a sensitive thing. You know, and it doesn't stand the test of time. This cell phone's not going to last 100 years. It's not going to last 1,000 years. It's going to erode and be destroyed. I mean, you make a good point, and that's something. Think about how can the builders of lore build what they did? You know, Chad, I think you will understand my pain. Probably E&P. Oh, so you're going with the whole harvested and destroyed thing, huh? Ralph? That's an interesting concept. You know, Jupiter's, like the movie Jupiter. I love that. We live in a 3D. Or Jack, we live in the 3D. It is what our physical senses can register. So we do what we do in line with that. It's the dimensions out of the 3D in which much shall determine everything. It has, when it happens, amen. The world is a fucking train wreck. Our nation is a fucking dumpster fire. We are guilty of so many crimes, including COVID, crime against humanity. We are culpable because we abide. Damn, and you're right, EMP. You're right. We've allowed this. We've allowed the evils. You're just supposed to love your fellow mankind. I love that message. What value would a cell phone have 100 years ago to anyone that was living then, other than a piece of junk to harvest the gold and precious metals from? Right, Wrath?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if I went back with a cell phone, there's no Google. There's no. I could just take pictures. That's about all I can do, right? Make a video, pass it around, let everybody go ooh wow, right? But if I could replicate the cell phone, ooh, sharing of knowledge and ideas, doing trials and errors, uh, you know, but when does lies and suggestions come in? The difference is the very first sin of Adam and Eve. The difference. This is interesting. This is interesting, and we have our own views on things. Right, Wrath. I've seen the videos. Yeah, I've talked to some of these people. I knew a guy that used to do it with computers and shit. He says it's more it's hard to do. There's a process and all that. Yeah, there's shops in India. That's all they do is harvest precious metals from technology, and they trash and junk everything and throw it all away. All the junk, and then they melt down everything, smelt it away. This cell phone can be smelted away, and the minuscule precious metals and things can be harvested out of it, and that's its only purpose at that time, because the technology is irrelevant. They want what's in it. Bone breaking action. Uh, Bedtime. I've been working nights, but it's been great to catch tonight's conversation. God bless and see you motherfuckers in hell. Take care of yourself. Bone breaking action. Uh, Drop your link. Constitutional Carbon, interesting book on that stuff. The Second Coming of Saturn. I haven't read that. And that's what I'm facing, Wrath. All right, I gotta piss. So please bear with me, folks. I'll be right back. Keep you up real late at night. Don't feel hungry. But I do feel. No, but I can't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Here, fine, fine. Giving me those sad puppy dog eyes, girl. Sad puppy dog eyes. So I give you some of my bacon. Mm. I will eat some bacon too. Yeah. Yep. 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 You gets the bacon. I do too. Ah. Ah. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh. 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 Mm. Bacon. Mm. Mm. We're nothing but pure energy. Nothing else matters. No, we're carbon. We are carbon-based life forms. There is energy involved because the essence of a sentient is being able to uh, maintain a form and to process and make energy. Um,
Hmm. Mm. Bacon. Bacon. I'm eating a pig. It took energy to. It took my stored energy. What's up, wing nut? Just do whatever, right? Just fucking throw it out. Boom, 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 boom. Mm. It took energy for me. It took that pig all its life to uh, maintain its shape. Uh, it took energy to maintain its shape. It took energy for me to process its shape into into a form that I can basically I have to deconstruct its form to gather the energy from it, by consuming it. I won't argue with you, Shad. You're wrong. Okay. Shad, can I ask you to listen to my vid from earlier today, pineapple prepping when you can? I won't promise anything, Jack. Look to the universe. Remember, refresh my memory. Ask more. Okay. Energy cannot be created or destroyed. It just changes form. Is that what you mean? Well, what about heat? Heat dissipates. Heat doesn't last forever. That's an energy. Um, Electrical impulses, they eventually fade. They lose conductivity and they fade. Uh, you know, light, light is energy, but at a certain point, the laser, it it starts to dissipate and break up. So how is it only certain kinds of energy? Mm, I don't know. Here we go. EMP. Mm. The transhuman agenda is to transform us to a silicon-based life form that can be biohacked by others that are not of this world. Mm. Sounds crazy until you do the research. Then it's fucking maddening. I don't think they're not of this world. It's possible they're not of this world, but I think it's more along the lines of, once again, evil human. You know, mm, constitute Carpenter. The more you look into physics, quantum mechanics, the more it points back to God. Hmm. Okay. Uh, it dissipates, not disappears. Well, that's disappearing. It dissipates. You know, that's just energy spreading out. Heat is still there. At what point does heat turn to cold? Mm. Until you factor in the whole transhumanism agenda with the natural solar cycles of the sun since the carrying event in 1921 rail incident, technology is fucking doomed. uh, See, just because the beam is no longer focused does not mean the particles after does not exist. Okay, all right. All good, man. I only ask, and I did it politely. Okay, I mean, yeah, right on, dude. Right on. I just can't promise. I can't promise it because I forget shit. I move on. I've got other things I'm doing, and yeah. Anyway, yeah. God is a clocksmith. He isn't cold, but it dissipates and allows for cold. Hmm. So where does that heat go? Is it gathered into a star? I mean, it's not there anymore. radio waves, they dissipate as well. I mean, energy, different kinds of energy just fades away. You know, heat doesn't dissipate; it turns into cold energy. Cold energy is the most abundant form of energy in the universe. I mean, is it actually an energy? Um, I think it's more of a I think it's more of a cause and effect. Mm, right. I mean, you guys are getting quantum physical on me and shit. Cold is the lack of absence of heat. Mm. Disappears to your perception. But if I put a drop of food dye, okay, all right, in your pool, the can't perceive it. Okay, all right, yeah, you're right. The heat still exists. It's just not concentrated. Okay, I feel you. Heat rises or falls. One works with gravity. One works against it, which is more efficient. I don't know. That's traditional definition. Hmm. Hmm. Y'all make some good points. And I'm an idiot. Like I said, I'm a brilliant idiot. Negative Ghostwriter. There's still a I Love Lucy episodes bouncing around. Right. Yeah, right. So, yeah, there's some kind of ancient alien civilization that's watching I Love Lucy going, that's human. That's a human. Oh man, they live in a black and white world, right? What do you mean to the moon, Ellis? 70% of all that is acoustic waveform energy. Right. I've seen some interesting things with sound, right? Yeah, we've seen interesting things with sound. I mean, it has a way of doing some weird shit, having interesting physics to it. Good is the absence of evil. That now I've heard this before. All right, hold on. Catch your cargo. Good is the absence of evil. Radio waves are just frequencies of magnetism. That was good. That's where I have flaw with Buddhism, because Buddhism says that that's what that is. Good is the absence of evil. Uh, I don't agree with that. That's where I'm opposed in Buddhism. Is I know evil exists. It's evil. Evil does exist. It is a actual thing. Um, I have the knowledge before we came here. Tune in. Yeah, I mean, I can't argue with that, S. More. I mean, do we have glimpses of things like that? Absolutely. Yeah, having this concepts. Uh, yeah, right. Here we go. The burden of knowledge is sorrow. He who increases knowledge increases grief. That's right. That's right. That was King Solomon, not me. That's right. You're right. Wisdom does not mean happiness. The American version of ignorant bliss. Yeah, some truth on it. Every man's mother-in-law is a witch. Right. She had the cutest little nose, and all women are inherently crazy. There's just different levels thereof. That I know. That I know is a truth. That is an absolute truth. Absolutely. Yeah. And proof in three, two, one. Bam! There it is. Uh, Love defeats the beast. In the absence of love, that void will fill with darkness. Hmm. The sun is an acoustic driver. That's a whole nother concept of sodium luminescence. Sweet to the taste, bitter to the belly, sodium luminescence. Wow, it really doesn't like that word. Solium luminescence. Oh, I don't know what that is. Interesting. You guys are smart. You guys are smart. Absolutely smart. Uh, do I agree with a lot what y'all saying? Not really. But I have heard such things. I've entertained such notions. I've entertained them. I have in my life of you know you know that the meditations and contemplations. I was really heavy into it and different uh, um, different disciplines, Kiri yoga, uh, some some absolute just yoga. Uh, but anyway, even shamanistic yoga. But even some of the mystics of the other religions too, and Christianity as well. Right. So there is. I think that does help to broaden the mind. Um, have to make our mistakes in order to get where we are. So we have to do dumb shit, yeah, and learn from it. That's wisdom, right, Raph? That's. I like to say that wisdom is doing stupid shit and surviving. I think that's wisdom. Region 9, what's going on? Uh, Science is factually proven prayer and meditation practice. Science has factually proven prayer and meditation changes human DNA epigenetics. Yeah, prayer and meditation absolutely work. Intention works. Constitutional carpenter. I'm not very smart, just carpenter. Right, right. Okay, yeah, constitutional carpenter. Right. I, I, I can't build a house as good as you can. I probably wouldn't even make it out of wood. So I'm smart and sexy, of course. Of course. The people that are incapable of learning from those mistakes are inherently stupid. That can't be fixed, and wisdom can't be bestowed upon them because they can't learn from those mistakes and the necessary of learning to fulfill us to succeed. All night long, all night long, all night. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Lady Smith, how you doing? Uh, right, that's it, right? Tennessee Tactical. Everyone's on this personal journey. Would you agree? Absolutely. And that's my point too. Is we all perceive things differently from each other. Yeah, that's a truth. We're all looking at the world through a different set of eyeballs. It's my eyeballs, not yours. Right? And you can't make me see your way. That's the point of having a perception. A point of perception is I have to look at things and think of things and conceive of things and understand things in my way, not yours. Even if you tell me how you see, think, and hear it and perceive it, doesn't matter. It's my perception, not yours. So it's always going to be different. Interesting. Definitely insanity doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right? I used to be a carpenter, a roof stacker for decades. Woo. Some kind of moral compass needs to drive us. Yes, indeed. And religion fills that role. Absolutely. Christianity does that very well. Absolutely. But like all things, it can be corrupted. It can be used as a manipulation tool, which it has been. I can prove that sound wave energy is cold energy is called Brownian motion. Was a Saturn V rocket. Over 178. The launch pad is not melted. It's frozen, as in freeze dried. As a carpenter too. Reason I. I'm a pot grower now. Dr. What? Dr. Etmo proved the power of thought, prayer, spoken word, and the things in your surroundings. Yeah, there is something to that. Yeah, right. I've seen that with water. Yeah, such awesome conversations. Agree or not? Anti-ad check. What's going on, brother? Come on in here. We're getting crazy and deep here. So I don't know where it's going now. Ugh. Mm. Ah. Mm. I hear you, Charity. It is getting late, isn't it? Time on deck is almost 3 o'clock. Damn. Wow. We are definitely burning the midnight oil. We've burnt the midnight oil, and now we're into the morning oil. Morning oil. Yes, the pre-dawn oil we're burning now. I can feel it in my voice, but I don't care. I'm still jacked. I just drank a freaking Ghost Energy drink, so right. Even if I do yawn, it's all for naught. Yeah, that was a yawn. So yeah, what do you guys want to talk about? Which oil is cheapest? Question is who controls the machine? That's the real war, good versus evil. Well, good likes to be proud. Good likes to shine. Uh, Evil likes to hide. Evil likes to not be seen because good is always watching and illuminates everything, brings things to light. Yeah. What we got here, Raf. There once was a study done in New York where the amount of horse shit that was accumulating on the grounds would be up to their knees. That was prior to the invention of the horseless carriage. Dr. Emoto? Emoto? Dr. Emoto? Cha cha! Can't sleep, huh? Uh, wow, really, EMP? I do that sometimes. Well, fast. Cha cha. You all excited to see your brother? That's great. Oh yeah. I subscribe to universal brotherhood. I subscribe to my race is the human race. What's yours? Because it sure looks like human. But we know that evil exists in many, many forms, and humanity is absolutely ripe with it. I mean, there's always the capacity in humans to be evil, absolute evil. You um, and uh, we're we're absolutely sneaky and conniving and manipulative. All those things, those are uh, fragile stupidities. Fragile stupidities. Evil exists in many, many forms. Um, and it's not just our species either. I mean, that's the thing. What is true evil? In the scope of the universe, is a comet evil? A comet's just doing what a comet does. It's being acted upon by forces outside. But if that comet smashes into life on it, is it evil? I mean, that's what's more evil, the chomo that's doing things to kids and then eating them, or the massive comet that's just extinguished 90% of life on the planet. True evil is hurting other living things. Well, I just ate bacon. Is that evil? Vegans think so. Uh, I mean, it's the concept of evil. I know evil exists. I've seen it. We've all felt it. The very nature of death itself is that all life eventually has to perish so that new life may flourish. Absolutely. I mean, it's a self-correcting system. It's a no, bacon is the exception, right? Bacon is the exception. Huh? That's why I say if aliens come to this planet, they better not taste like bacon. Yeah, that's an evil, right? When now, but in the scope of a universe, was it the comet's job to destroy all evil on this planet by destroying 9% of the life on it? Why are there stories of the Great Flood? To drown the giants, to do this. Uh, mm, Technically, humans taste like bacon. I've never eaten human. Long pig. I guess that's why they call him long pig. Huh? That's why they call us long pig. So, MJ passes on that. Excuse me. Collective organized evil, huh? So, yeah. But you can still hold evil thoughts and deeds in your heart. Can nearly smell evil, definitely sense the nefarious in nature. Is a tiger evil for trying to? Is a tiger evil for hunting you and killing you, and eating you? I mean, like I said, evil exists in other species as well. And the of consumption of human flesh, Kruger's disease. So yes, I'll pass as well, also known as Prions disease. Yeah, right. Trump's got the first human pig ear transplant. No, really? Bullshit. Really, Region 9? Drop a link. Terrence Brandon, Swiss cheese. Our current Congress is the perfect example, and most of the elite. Yeah, right? Survival is different than cruelty. I don't know. That's debatable. Still evil. I mean, could it be construed as evil? Now, I know that like tigers, they will. Uh, the India has a big problem with tigers because they will hunt humans just to hunt them, just because they hate human. So I mean, it's they'll just kill human. There's some that eat, but there's been a lot of tiger attacks where the tiger just says, "Fuck you, human, you're dead," and they don't eat it. They just walk away, and they wipe out whole villages that way. You um, Evil. That's a good concept. I mean, is evil the absence of good? I mean, what is good? S more. Are you going to sleep now? All right. I'm still good. I have 29% power, so I am dwindling in power. But I've been on here for like an hour and 38 minutes. Yes, it's true, but isn't it learned behavior because how they're treated? That might be something to it, but I was treated roughly, and I don't think I'm evil. I made a conscious effort to not be evil. I mean, it's a choice. Fluffy bunnies are good. Tasty. Yeah, right? I eat Bambi and Fluffy. So, look at it from the bunny's perspective. Are we evil? You're not evil, just demented. Just creative. Evil. Yeah, right. Well, okay. Tigers do the same. They've done it to humans. Yeah. Oh yeah, I know, and I've seen it, Wrath. Yeah, yeah. Cats, like your domestic cat, feline domesticus, evil. They kill everything just to kill it. Literally, a cat in your area will destroy everything. It will kill most life, uh, like bugs, lizards, birds. Just murder, murder each other. Not enough tigers, clearly. 72 hours to animal. That's the amount of time. Whereas our technology fails to where people will become animalistic and predatory in their nature again. Right? And that right, Wrath, and we are the apex predator. There's nothing else more dangerous than human on this planet. We've proven that. We've taken over this planet. We can do it. We change the environment to suit our needs. And if that means we got to eat pig and chicken and fish to do it, yeah, 72 hours. I mean, I tell you the truth. I mean, it might be less than that. You know, I grew up in the hood. As soon as the power went out, people hit the streets. It was purge time. It was, man. Um, all right. Okay. No, it isn't. But it's a demonstrable, observable thing that has happened, and people do act that way. Look at the panic that people go through if the power is out for a long duration. All right. I mean, I've seen it. I've been in it. So there's always exceptions to the rule. Nothing is ever cut and dried. That I know. Uh, is it evil? Is it evil? We take the world and our conveniences for granted. Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Uh, you know, I agree with that. Convenience makes us weak too. And with all this information at our fingertips, how do we spend our time with all this knowledge and power and wisdom? Quick 30-second videos of people doing stupid shit. Falling down. That's more, power went out and I went and rented a construction generator for the neighborhood. Wow, right on, nine. Uh, I know I wouldn't kill over hunger. I can't help it, Cha Cha. I'm not tired though. To kill over hunger. Well, I mean, that's if you're strong enough and stand with those convictions. That's great. That's great. That is very impressive to me. If you can have that kind of conviction in yourself. Yeah. I'm sorry. I know you're tired too. You're just waiting on me to feed your ass. I know. I know. I have more bacon. Uh, I think it was only the second day of Katrina. when someone killed someone over a bag of ice. Right. A bag of ice. Right? People will kill for less. Is your life worth a bag of ice that's going to melt? Yeah. Evil in mankind. Evil, hence the fragility, CC. Mankind is absolutely dangerous. The most dangerous thing on this planet. And probably the most dangerous thing in our solar system. Probably the most dangerous thing in the perceived, imagined pantheon of alien races out there. Uh, Structure of their culture. Japan is a whole world. Yeah, yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. Yeah, right, Lady Smith. We do not have thick skin. We do not have tooth and nail to protect ourselves. I mean, our bones are brittle. Our skin is weak. Our muscles are weak. We're not really that fast. We're not really that strong as compared to most species of animals on this planet. Yet we outthink them. We outsmart them. We're more clever. And that's where it started. That's where the woke will go quickly. Also, yeah, yeah. I agree. Let's see. We're in for some fun times. Spoiled little entitled brats in the West wonder happy when we don't get what we want when we want it. 72 hours, more like 24 hours for some, and then domino effects. Yes, most of the world is addicted to the digital drug, yes, and endorphins that are induced when they get a text message or a like or any of that, to the point where it's almost like digital crack. Absolutely, and it's designed that way. It's designed to be addictive. 24 hours, yeah. I mean, there's timelines. There's always a degree of uncertainty. Yeah, but there's everything happens at different times. And there's always exceptions to the rule. As soon as the power goes out, does everybody hit the streets? There's people that just hit the street. They hit the street and they're prowling. They're on predator mode. They're in predator mode. They're lurking in the shadows. Really, really nine. Yeah, yeah. There's that agenda again. Great. Relativism, a subjective reality. And that's kind of how I look at religion too, as a subjective type of reality. Oh, Cha Cha, it's getting ready to go on trial by axe. I mean, it's not really clean. I drew an A up there. But mock the Last Supper with trannies. Really nine. Oh God. I mean, that's part of the demoralization and humiliation, shock and humiliation. It's a tactic. And so yeah, you got to be able to keep the faith, so to speak. They're fierce Christians because they're coming for you. That's right, Yuri Bezanov. Demoralize, destabilize, crisis, normalization. Karl Marx, yeah, Marx. Yeah. And none of it works. It only works for It's evil. It is inherently evil. You know, Marxism, communism, it's inherently evil. Outside of an abortion clinic. Right. I mean, you know, it goes on and on and on. You know, I heard the story of a little 3-year-old that made a finger painting and said that all lives matter. And now that case is going up to the Supreme Court. Yeah, because everybody threw the book at her. Oh no, that's wrong speak. Oh, wrong speak. Mhm. And that's the thing we have to realize is how much we are manipulated from day one. As a kid, we are programmed, we are indoctrinated. You all have, me too, me included. And it takes years to deprogram yourself. And you can never fully deprogram. Now, there are some that do, but it's a scar. You carry the scars with you on public property, for that matter. Yeah. Right. One nation under Schofield. That's funny. But if we know the truth, why do we allow it to happen? Right? Technically, the very thing that we hold in our hands that we watch on the screen is programming us subconsciously. Yes. I agree. Absolutely. Little miniature Montauk machines. What? What's a Montauk machines in the hands of every man, woman, and child in the earth, rich or poor? What's a Montauk? Perception and the ability to choose. It's just people like to be a part of the norm. They like to people like to be sheeple. It's easier. It's easier to be told what to do. And just that's how you live your life. Just be told what you do. Personally not a fan of the Schofield. I think it's misleading. Ooh. Where's my free Starlink? We allow it to happen because it's indifference to our own fellow human beings. Yeah. So I mean, you know, when do we have passion? I'm glad I'm not the only one that didn't know what that was. I still don't know what it is. Right, right. It's not happening to me. It's not, you know, they didn't come for me. They came for the Jews. You know, and they didn't come for me. They came for the, you know, these people. And then finally, when they came for me, there was nobody left to speak to help me. Schofield was a Rothschild creation. Please expound. I've forgotten. Schofield, the Rothschilds, and you know that's an inherently evil empire, right? So, you know they have a tradition that they use, and all these families do, where they traumatize their children into absolute obedience, even from the grave. You know, they're given a generational task and purpose and marching orders, and they have to follow. And their training, their upbringing guarantees that through a trauma-based manipulation. Project Montauk was the CIA experiment. It had to do with the manipulation of the human perceptual nervous system using frequency of light and sound to induce the brain into a theta alpha state wave. Oh, okay, all right. Montauk. Rapture speaking in tongues. Zionist church is captured. I mean, that's that I have strobe lights. You know what I'm saying? And it's a very debilitating thing. You can stun somebody. Imagine, if you will, you stun them, and then you start to inject them, you know, with your thoughts and ideas and your suggestions. Wow. Electrodes in the brain. Electrodes to the brain in 1960s. Uh, it's the first Bible study pushing the rapture concept. What's that? Quantum internet. Oh, and I mean, yeah, right. So what's it called? The Havana syndrome, where those folks were literally bombarded with all kinds of weird things, which they blamed it on the Russians, which I think maybe it might have just been us, you or Klaus, right? But that requires a lot of energy, to be able to do that. Right, Wrath, right. Well, I mean, it's called a selection for a reason, and you're given the illusion of choice, right? But you got left wing, right wing, same bird. Who's it shitting on? You. Election, selection, manipulation, lies, and suggestions. Yep, absolutely. I even the concept of money and this idea of working for a number. Everything has a number. Really. That's a hell of a. That's one hell of a thing there. Hell of a thing. Your peeps percentage. I want to know your peeps percentage. What's that mean? Peeps? I don't have any peeps per se. You talking about the candy peeps? I'm lost. I'm lost. Totally lost. Not totally lost. Don't want to be found. Do I have to, Cha Cha? Oh, God. I know I want. Election time. Peeps percentage. I don't know what that means. What I think the peeps percentage. I mean, I know they're gonna cheat. That's the only option they have, man. Yeah, using electrical stimuli, things we can't hear. But they could hear it. They could hear low humming. They could hear high. At some point, they said that while they were asleep, they were woken up by a high chirp, high frequency chirp that just was deafening. And there was nothing they could get away. They couldn't put eardrums. They couldn't cover their eardrums. They couldn't do anything. And it was coming through the walls. There's nothing they could do. Induce criminal seizures using sound waves. Shift what happened? No. All out shift percentage. Oh, will shift happen? Will it be an all out shift percentage? That's a good question, Cha Cha, and I don't know. That's the part of not knowing. I've seen it. I've seen it full tilt bozo. I've seen it full on shit has hit the fan. I've been in Sierra Leone. I've been in Zaire of Africa, where there was total shift. Uh, Schofield study, Bible highly recommended. Looking at Stone Chippers Link. Okay. I told everyone they cheat long ago. They're Are you ready for the recount? They will take over. Margaret McDonald. We're given unfortunate. Okay. I mean, it's obvious at this point. What's up, fish sticks? That's their only recourse. That's their only course of action because they cannot possibly win. Cannot possibly win. And all this God talk. Yeah, we, you know, Donald J. Trump was just saved from an assassination attempt by divine intervention. I mean, that's that's the strongest narrative. Uh, Massive natural disasters being covered up right now. Also, the worldwide pushback against tyranny is being covered up big time. You have to actually go through. You have to actually look and physically find it. Look for it because it's not being promoted. It's not being pushed. You know. Recount. The Dems will be, and they will take over the recount, ensuring Trump's losses. Yeah. Right? Stalin said it best. It's not who votes, it's who counts the votes. Right, Charity? Uh, neither were the Civil War. So, what is the percentage? What they want is destabilization, and destabilization leads to crisis. So you're going to see small little shifts happening, small little purges when there's power outages, when there's no food, for places, when they've injected their own agent provocateurs, i.e., protesters of different shapes, sizes, and colors. Right? I say to you knowingly, because that's their way of pushing the destabilization. Uh, wow, onto weak spirits, right? Onto and to force strong people to either run away, not get involved, or to bend the knee. Yeah. Got the. Yeah, so I mean, it has to be, uh, it has it. Will it happen? I mean, it could go either way, but um, history repeats itself, and those who do not learn history are doomed to repeat it. The mistakes of the history. Uh, yeah, are we facing the useful idiots? Absolutely, and that's what they do. And they keep that ideology going because of the propaganda, the brainwashing, and next thing you know, they've got you know absolute trained assassins, you know, in expert fieldcraft. Well, as expert as they can get, because ultimately this evil is flawed. They lack creativity. They lack of industrialness. The only thing they know how to do is to steal. Um, is to steal from other people, to try to intimidate, coerce, lie. Was it lie, cheat, steal, intimidate, coerce? Yeah, right. Intimidate, extort. Yeah, intimidate, distort. Yeah, to lead to an enslavement. Right. So, but tyranny requires compliance. Without compliance, tyranny does not exist. Yeah. And so, yeah, religion is on the chopping block, totally, especially Christianity. That is one of their fundamental roadblocks. If you look in history, Christianity has always put the brakes on the evil socialist Marxist ideologies that come up. It always does. Israel, even with their DEI ESG compliance, people in Israel were still like, "Fuck you." They had a gun grab right before their little incident, where they had gliders and actual boots on the ground enemies, invaders, in their country, running amok, shooting people. Uh, the they were disarmed, and they were one of the most armed countries in the world. Everyone was a everyone is required to be a military. It's not a volunteer, but they do it. They do it freely. Uh, they don't do it because they have to. Yeah, that's sure, but they do. A lot of people carry on because it's very lucrative to be in the Israeli military. uh, get a lot of experience. You get a lot of training, and then you can go on to become very, very rich, and by teaching and or inventing. Because Israel comes up with a lot of warlike inventions and all kinds of stuff. Not just war, but everything. Tech side, IT side, construction. All kinds of things. Um, so staying in the military can be very lucrative, but everybody was required to serve in the military, and they all had guns. So right before that, probably 6 to 9 months before that, they took all the guns. Just took them all away. Like, you're not authorized. You're not authorized to carry a gun. Used to, that was the place you went. You go to the beach and there's supermodels walking around in thongs and bikinis, and they've got a M16, slung. Like they got to keep a gun on them just in case they get the call. Uh, Is it inevitable? Okay, let's see. We have built an entire infrastructure that is dependent on internet to the point where even if 5 days of no internet destroyed, nothing will be delivered. Yeah, I mean, but we have that redundancy. We do. We'd always go back to just hand delivering shit. Write a letter. You know. Yeah, even if there are no phones. I can still either do it myself or hire somebody to do it, right? Through the barter and trade system to get a piece of paper, to someone. So yeah, that's my fear, and that's where this whole CrowdStrike thing comes in. It's they're doing a test, they're doing a stress test, they're doing a compatibility test because everything that is affected, that's fine, but everything that wasn't affected, they're going to study why it wasn't affected and how can they affect it in the next run, right? So uh, we're going through the proving grounds of our own enslavement right now, even in the IT world. Yeah. Exposing weaknesses, and, doing case studies. Bolshevik Revolution. Most homegrown Western nations forgot to take notes from that lesson. The Bolshevik Revolution, even if Trump wins, yes, unfortunately, I think that Trump will allow us, right? Trump will, I wouldn't say he allows us, but we have this little interesting, as we the people of any nation, we have an interesting relationship with leaders, because they have influence, and if they influence one way or the other, people take advantage of it. They feel empowered by it, or they feel stifled by it. The whole thing about tyranny and freedom. Uh, if a government fears its people, there's freedom. If people fear their government, there's tyranny. Hmm. Ticking time bomb of stupidity, right? Hey, Stalin said it best: "Give me one generation, take over the nation." Nobody's doing their job. Nobody's replacing malfunction. Nobody's replacing malfunction. And I'm noticing this too, Rap, because that's their way of taking over, is through incompetence, and that's what DEI and ESG fosters is incompetence. Oh, I'm at 15% power on my phone. All right, because no longer is it a skill-based, merit-based thing. It's a equity thing. Why that person was hired. Do they meet the equity guidelines? What is equity? Now, there's equality, but no, they don't say equality. They say equity. Equity implies ownership. Like the equity of your house. Right? So they have equity in this person. And that's when they start talking about stakeholders, stockholders, stakeholders. Like this person is more important than me, which I'm the stock. That's the thing. You're the stock. Stakeholders, they hold the responsibility and the risk, right? That's who's in charge of us, is our stakeholders. And you got your shareholders. Yeah, that's where I'm trying to go. You got your shareholders. Stakeholder, I'm looking for vampires. Your shareholders control the shares. What are the shares? Me and you. That's where the share, we're just property, equity. So yeah, I mean, that is a evil, nefarious plan, and it's through incompetence. Uh, Equity is property. That's all it is. Property. Not equality. There's no equality in their system. If you ever notice, nobody's talking about equality. There's no talk about equal rights. There's none of that. No, it's they are superior. Far superior. And everything else is in lack of better words, demonized. Cis white male is demonized, right? Cisgender, male or female, is demonized. And that promotes relativism, which is used to destroy the nation, destroy the Virginia. What's going on, sister? No, I'm not. I ain't wise. I just see things. They've told that yeah, we are the carbon footprint they want to reduce. All right, let's go smoke, and then possibly in this live stream. They've told us what they're going to do. They wrote books on this shit. They made movies on it. They've made movies and books.
Right on, Virginia. There might be some truth to that. It's just how I perceive it. That's all. Different perspective, different angle. Yeah, of course. That's the insidiousness of it. all it said. It give me one generation. And look at the other direction too. Look at Sparta. We are Sparta. You know, kids were forged early age to be warriors, to be absolute citizens of Sparta. They were fierce, unconquerable, uncorruptible. Same thing with Japanese. When the Mongols attacked, and they when the Golden Horde tried to attack Japan, they still tried to use subversion. See, that's subversion is it goes way back. You know, like I said, Samaria, Anunnaki, that's their preferred method. The actual conflict doesn't happen till way later. Fight in the shade, right? Fight in the shade. I have to say that there's a higher intelligence in we the people now. The Ainu of Japan. Ainu. The Ainu of Japan. I'm not familiar with that. Peace through strength. I mean, throughout our history, and throughout any history, the country that basically, all connected to Anunnaki. Same with the Norse culture. Yeah, right. What's up, Josh? How you doing, brother? Are you experienced? What was I saying? I forget my train of thought. Yeah, so the Golden Horde, they could not defeat the Japanese. Couldn't do it. They were fierce. Not only were they fierce in their fighting, in their tactics, and it was a process of their orthodox from childbirth. You know, it was just ingrained in them to be Japanese and nothing else. And their culture was uncorruptible. It eventually happened. Yeah. I mean, shit. The Japanese had a 900-year war with the Persians. That's where they got their armor, their iconic armor from. Yeah. Sic vis pacem parabellum. What's that mean? No looting and disaster. Well, it always does, Cha-Cha. But with subversion, like I said, demoralization, destabilization, crisis, normalization. Normalization is when you see the tanks in the streets because everything else has happened. The crisis, normalization, that happens after the crisis. That's when they come through because they don't want to fight. They don't want to actually fight. They want us to be either destroy ourselves or be destroyed by an outside invader force. Or both, in our case. By that time, we will be so beaten down and starving and yearning for normalization so much that we will beg for their tyranny. Yeah, right? Right, Jack? But this is a worldwide thing. This is the Fourth Reich. It is, or the I'm sorry, they call it the Fifth Reich, the fifth industrial revolution, right? That's what they're calling it. Yeah, the Fifth Reich. And this is worldwide, world domination, baby. That's what they're on, the world domination. It's not just us. We're the strong arm of it all, but we have to be taken down now. We have to be taken down past, down past third world country level, for them to succeed. And it's a war of attrition. Everybody, right, Raph? Programming, right? Romancing it. The trailer parks will survive. Yeah, they will. Yes, they will. Trailer parks. What wasn't actually accounted for? That's a good question, right? And I've asked these questions as well. And a lot of these movies, like The Walking Dead and shit, like, wait a minute, that don't sound right. Nah, come on. Yeah. Right, Region 9? Some hundreds of years ago. Well, now is our time to shine. And this is hope, because this is true. Is in every tyrannical, evil thing that happens into a society, to a people, freedom always has a way of prevailing. Sinning who looks down, eyes up, innocent. All us outliers have known since birth. Right? I mean, there's always 10% of the population of people that say, fuck you, I'm out of here. I'm done with the bullshit. I'm going off into the woods and leave me the fuck alone, right? They just want to be left alone. Uh, let's see. That we have to is maintained by people that weld and repair, right? Oh man, saw a dead bug walking because of a certain parasite. Oh yeah, controls the nervous system. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, nanotechnology chips, and I mean that's what the whole mRNA thing was too. You know, the nuclear power. Right. I mean, there are people that are absolutely dedicated to their upkeep. There is. There's just not a lot of people that want to study and be apprentices to those people. So it has to be able to restart civilization as it was is going to take a very long ass time. Trial and error kind of shit. Like, oops, we just created a China syndrome. We have a China syndrome. We just tried to fire up this freaking nuclear reactor. And great, now the reactor is melting its way to the core of the Earth. Oops, oops. Sorry about that. A walking radiator did. Yeah, right. Yeah. But I mean, what they want uh, is they want our absolute slavery, absolute subjugation, right? Absolute subjugation. Uh, we all float down here.
but there will always be people that say no. I will not go gentle into good night. I will not live under your thumb, and I will I will fight, and I will encourage others to do the same. And it always happens, and that's what we're seeing now in a lot of the world. You see this, but you have to look for it. They try to hide it. They hide it. They try to scrub it from the internets. You know, uh, that whole Twilight Zone thing. You know, they control the horizontal and the vertical. I'm not. I don't know that for sure, for certain, Virginia. You know, fallen from what? Fallen from the stars. That would explain a lot, but the evolution wouldn't explain it. Let's see here. Oh yeah, I'm at 9% here, folks. Nanotechnology. I mean, yeah, I've seen it in like the Stargate, you know, things of that nature. Uh, if you choose not to decide, you have still made a choice. Wow, no shit. Rush Limbaugh. Hmm. Definitely a great sage of our time. Rush Limbaugh. Nice name drop. Brings back memories. Hmm. You know, the indomitable human spirit to be free is, I think it's stronger. Uh, is a lot stronger than tyranny. Time and time again, you know, it's been proven that those who are willing to stand and fight for their freedom, they hold back the tide and they encourage others to do the same. Yeah. You know, and that's how do you deal with a bully? You confront the bully. You know, love conquers hate. Yep. What are you fighting for? Yeah. Me, I'm going to be fighting for future children. That's, you know, the future of this nation, the future of this world. Uh, the you know, give the black eye to the tyrant, and remind him of history. All right, so folks, I'm at 9%. I love this. This is great. Great conversations. Thank you, Jack. You know, taking us here, um, taking me there. Thank you, Raf. Thank you, Region 9. Thank you, Virginia. Uh, Everybody else in between. This has been a very interesting Lackluster Fridays. Cha Cha, Lady Smith. Uh, yep, all of you, all you fine men and women out there. Josh, okay, bye. Oh, yeah. As long as I have a Bic lighter, I don't have to pluck ear hairs. Don't need much to be content. Oh man, much love to you too as well, Virginia. Yes, yeah, I'm feeling kind of tired. I think I'm gonna eat some. I'm not tired enough to take a nap though. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna eat some bacon with Charity. And I'm probably going to play some Fallout. So thank you all very, very much. I love where these conversations go. I really do. Uh, uh, I do. Thank you, Lady Smith. Lady Smith, we need to talk. Yeah, we need to talk tomorrow. It's pretty cool. Hmm. So yeah, thank you all for hanging out with me tonight, all night long too. Damn. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. Mama say, mama sa, mama kusa. All night long, all night. Oh, that was perfect. So yeah, thank you, folks. Okay, we'll do. We'll do Lady Smith. Uh, yep. Throw some things at you. Yep. Dancing away. There you go. Night all. Gotta work tomorrow. Yes. Much love. I'm in Australia. We shouldn't have those here, but note taken just in case. That's right. I know they're there. I know they're there. Yeah. It's always the resistance. Always. Yeah. All right. So anyway, yes. So I'm at 7% power now. Still hanging on though. So thank you all very, very much for hanging out with me tonight. Lackluster 3. Damn. We got deep, man. We got really deep. Yeah. And like I said, this is just the rantings and ravings of a madman. Be advised, my perception of reality is totally different from yours, and as yours as well. We all have different perspectives, different angles that we come from. So, and I think that's great. DJ, thank you very much. My pleasure as well. Uh, I think that's no said no one to me ever. Okay, yeah, right. Anyway, so yeah, good night to you all. Thank you very much for hanging out. Lackluster Fridays. Hopefully, we'll see you tomorrow night for Trial by Axe. Yeah, I plan on doing a Trial by Axe. I'm gonna try. I gotta do a few things during the day, some things, some chores and stuff. But I do plan on doing a Trial by Axe Saturday night. So it would probably be BYOT, or I don't know. Maybe I will actually pick somebody. I don't know, to be a special guest. So anyway, thank you all very, very much hanging out with me. Absolutely amazing conversations, and thank you all. It was great. Everybody added. Everybody added something just special to the conversation, and I think that's a beautiful thing. It really is. So, have a good night.